In early 19th century Virginia, something impossible kept happening. Plantation owners began noticing enslaved children doing something strictly forbidden. They were reading, not guessing, not repeating words. Reading and writing. One child knew Bible verses by heart. Another could sign his own name. A girl barely 10 could read a newspaper headline aloud. Fear spread fast. Because in Virginia, teaching enslaved people to read was a crime. Yet when questioned, every child gave the same answer. We were taught by one man. But no one could find him. Virginia law was clear. After slave revolts like Nat Turner's, education became a weapon in the eyes of white lawmakers. Reading meant thinking. Writing meant planning. So the punishment was severe. Enslaved people caught reading could be whipped or sold. Anyone teaching them could be fined, imprisoned, or worse. Even free black people were watched closely. So when plantation owners began discovering multiple literate enslaved children across different counties, panic followed. These children didn't live on the same plantation. They didn't share the same master. Some had never even met. Yet they all learned the same way. Same handwriting style. Same reading rhythm. Same whispered pronunciation of words. Someone was moving between plantations. And he was risking death every night. The first case came from a tobacco plantation near Richmond. A boy named Samuel, about 11 years old, was caught tracing letters in the dirt. At first, the overseer laughed. Then Samuel read aloud. Perfectly. He was dragged before the master, beaten, and interrogated. Who taught you? Samuel stayed silent. After hours of punishment, he finally spoke. A man who comes after dark. He says words are freedom. The master dismissed it as a lie. Until 2 weeks later, a girl on a plantation 30 miles away was found hiding a piece of paper beneath her mattress. She, too, could read. And she said the same words. A man who comes after dark. By 1828, at least a dozen cases had surfaced. The children described the man similarly. Tall, calm voice. Always carried a book wrapped in cloth. Never stayed until sunrise. He never gave his real name. He taught them. Letters first. Then Bible verses. Then simple writing. But most frightening of all, he taught them why reading mattered. If they control your words, he told them, they control your mind. The plantations responded with terror. Night patrols increased. Dogs were released after sundown. Lanterns watched the roads. Still, the lessons continued. Rumors exploded. Some said he was a runaway slave hiding in plain sight. Others believed he was a free black preacher. A few whispered something even more dangerous, that he was white, because only a white man could move freely at night without being stopped. Only a white man could cross plantation borders unnoticed. But no white teacher had ever been reported missing. Until one name resurfaced. Jonathan Hale. A former school teacher. Jonathan Hale had once taught at a small rural school. Quiet, bookish, deeply religious. Then one day, he vanished. No body, no crime, just gone. What few remembered was his obsession. He believed the Bible demanded literacy for all. If God speaks through words, he once said, then denying words is denying God. Neighbors recalled seeing him speak privately with enslaved workers. One farmer warned him, that kind of talk will get you killed. Hale reportedly answered, then so be it. According to later testimonies, Hale created moving classrooms. He never taught in one place twice. Lessons happened in barn lofts, forest clearings, empty smokehouses. Children were taught in groups of 3 or 4. Never more. Each child was told to teach another, quietly. That's how the knowledge spread faster than Hale ever could. 1 child became 2. 2 became 4. Words traveled silently, from plantation to plantation, like fire underground. In 1830, Hale was finally betrayed. A child terrified after a public whipping revealed the meeting place. Night riders surrounded an abandoned barn. Inside, they found chalk, handwritten alphabets, Bible pages torn into sections. And Jonathan Hale, he did not run. Witnesses said he simply closed his book. "I've taught them enough," he said quietly. He was arrested. No public trial followed. Records show only one line. Jonathan Hale, charged with inciting unrest. He was never seen again. The patrols intensified. Children were tested randomly. Anyone who could read was punished. But something unexpected happened. The children didn't forget. Even when forbidden books were burned, even when hands were broken, they passed stories by memory. Spoken words replaced written ones. And some children sold south carried literacy with them. Plantations hundreds of miles away later reported the same thing. Enslaved people who could read. No teacher, no books, just knowledge that refused to die. Virginia tried to erase Jonathan Hale,